What's up, Key Issues? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has confirmed that 2018 is the year of Spider-Man. Everyone is super excited to learn more about the great Spider-Man universe being built in this film. So today, we'll be breaking down some of the lesser-known Spider-Men and Spider-Women of the Spider-Verse. All of them except Peter Parker and Miles Morales, who you should know by now. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to become legendary so you don't miss any Key Issues content, and let us know if there's any legends down in the chat. Peter Parker of Earth 90214 is the Spider-Man on his Earth, but is commonly referred to as Spider-Man Noir on our Earth. This Spider-Man first appeared in Spider-Man Noir #1, the first of a 4-part miniseries from 2009. The story is a darker and more grounded take on Spider-Man that was set in the early 20th century. This Peter Parker has a similar origin to the classic story and is like a hybrid of Spider-Man, Batman, and the Punisher. Peter was a normal kid being raised by his aunt and uncle until one day when he discovered the disfigured dead body of his Uncle Ben, who was murdered by Norman Osborn, the Goblin. Normally, people back then just died of lead poisoning or sinus infection or something like that. So this was an unusually gruesome scene. This murderous act drove him to seek justice for his beloved Uncle Ben, and Peter eventually became the protege of legendary reporter Ben Urich. And under his tutelage, Peter became one of the best investigative reporters in the city. Now, keep in mind, this city probably had like 200 people, back then. I think. I mean, I'm not basing this off of any fact. I've just seen Gangs of New York, and there weren't a lot of people in that movie. So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt. So Peter eventually receives a tip meant to lure Ben Urich to his death, and after arriving on scene, he finds the Goblin and his men unloading a shipment of stolen antiques. And one of these antiques breaks open, releasing a wave of spiders, one of which bites Peter, granting him the powers of the Spider God and turning him into the Spider-Man.
This world's version of Spider-Man. Nice. Very noir.
That's some outfit. Was the costume shop out of Santa Claus suits?
Penny Parker of Earth 14512 is the current pilot of the SP//DR mech. And this machine will only respond to a pilot with acceptable DNA, and that has also been bitten by the radioactive spider located in the mech's head. Now, if this sounds complicated to you, that's because it's based off of anime. So it's immediately weirder than it needs to be, and I say all this despite the fact that I absolutely adore anime. So this spider shares a psychic connection with the pilot that makes the operation of the mech kind of like second nature, and this relationship is very similar to the one that the two pilots have in the Pacific Rim franchise. So at the age of 9, Penny's father, who was the previous mech pilot, was killed. Her Aunt May and Uncle Ben eventually convince her to take up the mantle that her father had left behind. Penny does reluctantly accept the role and becomes this Earth's Spider-Woman. Hello. Peter Parker, better known as SpiderHam of Earth 8311, first appeared in Marvel Tales starring Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham, way back in 1983. So no, The Simpsons did not do it first, Screen Junkies. So, Peter Parker started out as a spider, and after being bitten by a radioactive pig named May Porker, he transforms into a spider-pig hybrid. Spider-Ham has a long history battling villains like Doctor Doom, King Pig, Raven the Hunter, and the Swinister Six. The amount of puns involved in this character's backstory nearly put me into a pun coma writing this script, but we're nowhere near finished, so strap in. SpiderHam has teamed up with other heroes in the past like Captain Americat and even Iron Mouse, who might actually just be Mickey Mouse in Iron Man armor. It's hard to say. So during the Spider-Verse event, Porker and Old Man Spider were the ones to recruit SP//DR and Penny Parker into the growing group of spider heroes. So thanks, Porker. And later in the events of Secret War, SpiderHam had a much larger role. He was instrumental in bringing down Norman Osborn, and he even rescued Peter Parker. You know, the one everyone knows. Which is not bad for a character that most people probably think is just a joke.
Is there some way you can, I don't know, unpig me?
Nay, again. I am the god of thunder, not a magician.
A million superheroes in New York, and I get the one who can't break the spell or stop the hunt.
Spider-Gwen, also known as Spider-Woman, is the Gwen Stacy of Earth 65. She made her debut in Edge of Spider-Verse #2, which at the time of its release was one of the hottest books that I can remember. It sold out almost immediately everywhere, and even now the book commands a decent price. So Spider-Gwen's origin is pretty similar to regular Peter Parker's origin. Her mother died when she was younger. She was raised alone by her father, Captain George Stacy of the New York Police Department. Eventually, she goes on to get bitten by a radioactive spider, and she gains the same powers that you would expect. During the early days of Spider-Woman's career, she wasn't really as noble as you would expect a hero to be. She was kind of like Batman from Batman v Superman, just a little bit of a dick. But she had a change of heart after her father had expressed to her that he hoped Spider-Woman could do some good. Her best friend was her next-door neighbor, Peter Parker, who was a freaking nerd. Sorry. I mean, he was a polite young man who was just a bit introverted. But he was a freaking nerd. Peter idolized Gwen and subsequently Spider-Woman and was desperate to feel important to his idol. So much so that after a failed experiment, he accidentally turned himself into the Lizard. Spider-Woman and Lizard Parker fought at their senior prom and Gwen killed him. Spider-Gwen has gone on to be one of the hottest comic book characters in comics. Wait, did I say hottest? No, what I meant was popular. I meant popular, guys. Don't be disgusting.
Hey guys,
Who are you?
I'm Gwen Stacy.
So those are all for the lesser-known Spider-Men and Spider-Women coming to you in Edge of Spider-Verse. Are you hyped for this movie? I think it looks to be one of the sneak favorites of mine coming in at the end of this year. I cannot wait to see this movie. Let me know what you think down in the comments. As always, remember to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Also follow us on Twitter at KeyIssuesCast. That's at KeyIssuesCast. And remember the motto, it's comics over everything, and I'll see you guys next time.